One-day affair aims to help CBD-based eateries boost trading in a safe and socially distanced way by bringing more people back into the CBD through pedestrianising certain streets. The event seeks to facilitate and support restaurants who wouldn't have had a peak trading period with more international tourists if it were not for the travel bans. According to stats, South AfricaTravel and tourism contributed 7% to the South African GDP in 2019 and decreased 4% in 2020. Now, for more on the story, we now cross to our senior reporter Atule Joka, who joins us now from the event. Atule, what is happening there now? I'm so envious. Did you taste some of the food in one of the eateries? What's the latest there?
Well, I can tell you the event has just started. It began at 2, but it will go through the evening until the early morning of the next morning. The city of Cape Town is trying to revitalize the economy here in the Western Cape. As you would know, that the travel bans and also the COVID-19 pandemic has hit hard the tourism industry here in South Africa. As you rightly put it in the beginning, that the tourism industry in South Africa contributed to 7% of the GDP, but it has been decimated over the years up to 2019, where it dropped to 4%. I was speaking to the MEC for Economic Opportunities here in the Western Cape, in the city of Cape Town. He told me that in 2019, the city of Cape Town contributed 17.5 billion rands, but in 2020, it scaled down to 4.5 billion rands, but they don't have statistics for 2021. So you can imagine how that has played out. So they are trying to revitalize that economy. They are trying to make sure that the business who could not make profits, especially because of the travel bans, are able to make those profits. So we got here early, before 2 o'clock, before the event started. Some of the restaurants have already set up. They have set up their tables and chairs outside so people can dine off. I'm literally standing in the middle of the road of Bree Street. All the streets around here have been cordoned off so that patrons can take full view and full participation of the proceedings here today. And also the restaurants are taking full advantage of all the economic opportunities that are presented here today. But I will be joined by the mayor of the city of Cape Town, Mr. Jordan Lewis. It's been a while since we spoke.
Yes.
It was the time which you were conferred as the premier. Talk to us about today's proceedings. I know you want to revitalize, you want to bring it back. How important is it?
I'm really hoping that it works. This is just one idea that we came up with to try and help our wonderful hospitality industry, our restaurant industry, get through this difficult period. So we know that people feel nervous coming to restaurants during the middle of the fourth wave. So let's give the restaurants more space to spill out into the street, like this restaurant here behind us. And hopefully that will encourage more diners to come, and it will help restaurants and all the workers that work for them to get through this difficult period. So I hope it helps.
This open air experience is a one-night thing. Are you planning to make it a frequent or?
Yes. Yeah. No. This is just our trial run essentially today. It's now going to roll out through the December and January holiday season, the peak holiday season. Next week will be 3 or 4 streets, and so we'll go through the season. So hopefully it works, and hopefully Cape Townians come down and support it. And if you're watching this elsewhere in the country, it's another great reason to come down to Cape Town for the season and be a part of this excitement. And it's great to see people starting to trickle in. It's still early, but it'll be like this until 11 o'clock tonight. So please do come down.
I saw you were inside the restaurants when you got to it, trying to speak to you. We're also trying to engage with the patrons. How's the feeling and the mood just around them?
I think people are just relaxed and pleased to be here. I've seen some parents pushing their prams, and that's what we want. No big fuss. We just want people to come down and relax, feel safe, have a good time, and support some wonderful restaurants. And it was great to speak to this restaurant here, and I just asked them how many people work at this restaurant, and there's 10 or 12 people working here this afternoon, and there'll be more people coming tonight when it's fuller. So that's exactly the point. This is about supporting people's jobs, getting patrons here, more patrons here, so that people like that can get through this difficult period. So that makes me very glad.
Speaking of people's jobs and also trying to sustain those jobs, in 2019 the tourism sector contributed 113,000 direct jobs. That has been decimated over the years. It has been slashed down. How are the numbers looking now, and also how are you looking to make sure you recoup and also to revive this sector here in Cape Town? How are the things looking like?
Well, you know, just before this new red list disaster happened, we were looking to come all the way back. All of the businesses were saying, the hotels were saying, the airlines were saying that they are almost halfway back to where they were before COVID, which was hugely encouraging. Now this red list, fourth wave, has hit us hard. It's hit us very hard. So we've got some rebuilding to do now. We'll do that, and I know that the tourists will come back eventually, but it'll take some time. But we are committed to rebuilding as quickly as we can.
We spoke to some of the restaurants, and they did tell us that they received a lot of cancellations after that first announcement was made. But now also an announcement was made that you've been taken off the red list.
Yes.
Are we likely to see, or is it a little too late now?
Oh, it's so annoying, because those 2 weeks that we were on the red list took away so many bookings, thousands of bookings from Cape Town's main tourist season. So that's a bit difficult to swallow. It's a tough, bitter pill to swallow. We are hoping now that some will reinstate their travel plans, and our message to them is, look at this day. I mean, look at what we're doing. It's fun, it's exciting, it's wonderful in Cape Town. Escape the freezing weather of Europe and come and see some sunshine and a wonderful city in Cape Town. So we hope that they will still come, but we know that obviously many will have cancelled already.
And also I understand that some of your efforts was to redirect some of your efforts to the domestic travel.
Yes.
Do you have like special discounts and also plans to attract local tourists?
Well, some of the travel companies that we're working with, Travel Start, etc., are offering discounted flights, discounted hotel vouchers, and so on. Obviously, we are not subsidizing that, but what we are doing is we are advertising big time in Joburg, Pretoria, Tshwane, Durban, everywhere around South Africa, to make sure that we get the message out there that locals are welcome here. This is a great place to spend your Christmas. Please come down.
And also, are you going to be here throughout the night, and what are you hoping for throughout this night? When is this party going to end?
Well, it's quite quiet now. I'll stay a few more hours until it gets a bit busier, and I hope that everyone has fun, that we stay safe, and that we support these great businesses.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Well, that was the mayor of the city of Cape Town talking to us about this open air activity that they are doing here in the city of Cape Town to try and revitalize the hospitality industry, to try and attract revelers to come here and enjoy the dining experience. I will also ask my colleague and the cameraman Arif Khan to just show you the people around here, to just pan around. Here are people seated, enjoying, wearing their shades, enjoying dining experience, the wines, and also seated, enjoying this festive season. I want to show you throughout the streets, but it is empty for now. But we'll be here throughout the day to bring you what is unfolding and also what is happening here today.
Atule Joka, thank you so much for that and for your time this afternoon. I can certainly say I am extremely jealous of that weather in Cape Town as somebody who's sitting in Johannesburg. All right, we'll have more of your top stories.